Mr. LaMotta. He will be starting soon. Oh, story time with Mr. LaMotta, where all your dreams come true. Oh, he brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't leave lonely, won't you start our reading? I just can't wait to be hearing story time with Mr. LaMotta. He will be starting soon. Oh, story time with Mr. LaMotta, where all your dreams come true. Oh, he brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't leave lonely, won't you start all reading? I just can't wait to be hearing.
Good morning, and welcome to Storytime. Thank you so much for joining in today. Glad we're here together. I should have actually still been. We forgot to do the jig this morning. Yeah. Good morning to you and welcome to Storytime. Thank you so much for being here. Absolutely appreciate you all. Thank you indeed. Another great week coming to an end. And yes, happy Friday to everybody that is joining in today. And I know that there's so much that is going on right now. Rains, all kinds of things. And we just hope that you are well. I hope that your loved ones are well indeed. And I hope that things can get a little better. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime today and welcome. Absolutely appreciate you. Coming to you live from Oakland. Remember too that you can find Storytime with the recordings at 11 a.m. Pacific time. You can also catch us at storytimewithmrLaMotta.com, at storytimewithmrLaMotta, Facebook and YouTube, as well as Instagram. Thank you so much for joining in here. I'm glad that you're here today with us. Please drop us a message. Let us know you are here. Let us know so we can say hello to you and your loved ones. Thank you so much for joining in today. It has been a wonderful week of books, and I hope that you've enjoyed them. I've enjoyed reading them and bringing them here to Storytime. And these are some of the titles that we've had this week. Amazing books indeed. We've talked about jobs. We've talked about trains. We've talked about sleuthing and solving. I hope you enjoyed that yesterday. And of course, we talked about space on Monday. And of course, today we do have sound here with us today. So please get ready for that one. And remember too that we do have Angela Darton's book coming out January 17th. Yes, and of course, you can catch Angela here with us on Storytime on January 20th. So excited for that one. And of course, too, we have Marietta's book coming out on March 1st, 2023. So be sure to catch that one as well when it is out. Ask for it at your local library. Ask for it where you find books. And I hope that you enjoy it. I've absolutely enjoyed both of them. Thank you so much for being here with us on Storytime. Where are you joining us from? And today our book is Sound. Yes, can you hear that? This one coming from ROMANA ROMANYSHYN and ANDRIY LESIV, and of course being read with permission of the publishers, Chronicle Books of San Francisco. A big thank you to them indeed for allowing us to read this book here on Storytime, and of course many others in the past, and I believe many others to come. Thank you so much for joining in today. I hope you're ready for this one. Shh, bang, pop, boom. I hope you're ready for this one. And of course too, just a reminder that this is a companion book of this one right here called Sight, and together they won the 2018 prestigious Bologna Ragazzi Award for Best Nonfiction Book of the Year. So we know we're in for a treat. If you remember Sight, good book indeed. Loved it, enjoyed it, and we have this one today. And our special mention for today, I must say too, is this one. What sound is morning? And this makes me think about what our mornings sound like where you are. And as we read, I want you to be thinking about that as well. But yes, our special mention, this one from Grant Snyder, is called What Sound is morning. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime. Glad we are here together. Get ready for this story for today. And this one is called Sound. Romana Romanyshyn, ANDRIY LESIV, and of course, Chronicle Books of San Francisco. Good morning to you. Who is with us this morning? Good morning to you, Amanda West. How are you doing? And of course, Sarah and Nathan out there in cloudy Illinois. Thank you so much for being here. I hope that you are ready for this wonderful book. I hope that you enjoy it. Thank you for being here with us. And always a pleasure having you here. Extra hugs to you and love. And of course, we hope to have many more story times together. Thank you so much for joining in and glad you're here. Yes, yes, yes. This one, Sound, coming up very shortly. Join me on the other side of this short break when we're back for more story time.
Hello, Storytime friends. My name is Angela Dalton, and I'm an author of picture books. Some you may have even seen read right here on Storytime with Mr. Lamada. I'm excited to tell you about my brand new picture book called To Boldly Go, How Nichelle Nichols and Star Trek Help Advance Civil Rights. It comes out January 17th, and it's an amazing story about the legendary Nichelle Nichols and her role on Star Trek, which she left until a very special person reminded her about the impact that she was making, not just on television, but around the world. And I'm excited to tell you that myself and Lauren Semmer, the illustrator, will be coming here on January 20th to read the book to you and to answer any questions that you might have and to tell you a little bit about the book and how we came up with the idea for it. I hope that you'll join us again on January 20th right here in Storytime with Mr. Lamada. Until then, if you'd like to learn a little bit more about me, please visit me at angeladalton.com. Okay, now we got to get back to the story today on Storytime with Mr. Lamada. I hope you're enjoying it. I know I am. Okay, see you soon. Bye.
Welcome back indeed. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime. Our book today is called Sound. This one coming from Romana Romanyshyn, ANDRIY LESIV, and of course, read with permission of Chronicle Books of San Francisco. And you must note too that this has been translated into over 20 languages. Amazing. All right, here we go. Love that. Sound. Shh. Bang. Pop. Boom. This one is written by Romana Romanyshyn and ANDRIY LESIV and translated by Vitaly Chernetsky. And we're reading this one with permission of Chronicle Books of San Francisco. Here we go. In the beginning, it may have been quiet, but then it became loud. The universe filled with sounds. In the beginning, it may have been quiet, but then it became loud. The universe filled with sounds. Make sure I don't double page. There we go. Sound is usually invisible. Sound is usually invisible, but it attracts our attention. We listen for it, and then we hear it. Sound is the vibration of particles in space received by the organs of hearing. And there's organ of hearing right there. You can see there the different parts of an ear. The inner ear, the middle ear, which has different parts. And perhaps one of the most famous, the eardrum. Or tympanic membrane. Yeah. Sound is the vibration of particles in space received by the organs of hearing. Sound is usually invisible, but it attracts our attention. We listen for it, and then we hear it. There are so many different sounds. Loud, soft, high, low, familiar, and new. Do you agree? There are so many different sounds. Loud and soft, high and low, familiar and new. Yeah, so many different sounds. In the sea of known and unknown sounds, we look for order and harmony. This is how music is born. Look at all those different instruments. Do you play an instrument? I'm learning guitar right now. At least I should be doing more. But yeah, there's a harp, there's a violin, there's the French horn. So many different instruments. Can you see them? In the sea of known and unknown sounds, we look for order and harmony. This is how music is born. There are countless instruments that can be used to create music. Some simple, like the drum, others complex, like the organ. You can see all the different ones there. There's also the tambourine, bass guitar, the triangle. Is there anything that you play among these? Piano? So many different ones. Even vegetables can serve as great musical instruments. A band called the Vegetable Orchestra plays music on vegetables and then makes soup out of them. Isn't that cool? I have to see that. You can perform solo or make music with others. Yes, there are countless instruments that can be used to create music. Some simple, like the drum, and some complex, like the organ. You can perform solo or make music with others. Yeah. We all have our unique ways of sounding. This is our voice. Yes. Voices help us communicate and understand those close to us. And with the help of voice, you can also perform a marvel that is called singing. Yeah. And we know that there are other forms of language that people use if they can't use a voice, isn't it? Yeah. We all have our unique ways of sounding. This is our voice. Voices help us communicate and understand those close to us. And with the help of the voice, you can also perform a marvel that is called the singing. And you can see the different voice levels. You have the bass, the baritone, the tenor, soprano, mezzo-soprano, and contralto. Where do you fall on that grid? Oh, good morning, Sharon Lungo and Soraya. How are you doing today? I feel like with the weather we've been having, it is so easy to be sleepy all the time here in Auckland. Oh, there we go. Yeah. Our bodies perform their own music. They create so many different sounds. Can you think of any? Well, there's farts. There's rumbling stomachs when we are hungry. There's cough when we're sick. We sneeze. We hiccup. We wheeze. We snow. We whistle. Well, our bodies are so loud. They make cracking noises when we get up or when we move. Well, maybe not so much for you kids, but as you grow older, they make sounds. Those sounds become more audible, rather. So many sounds that the body makes. We sniff, we snuffle. To hear the sounds inside our bodies, doctors use the stethoscope. Yeah, I hope you get to see some of those sounds that we make. Oh. Our homes can sometimes sound like a musical instrument. Yes, so many different things. Bells ringing, sizzling of cooking. Yes, slurps, splashes, so many things. Symphonic house. On the shore of Lake Michigan, the architect David Hanawat and the installation artist and musician William Close built a house that sounds like a musical instrument. Inside and outside the house, there are strings, and its walls have special acoustic properties. The house lets wind pass through its walls and rooms, creating melodious sound. How cool is that? Yeah, our homes can sometimes sound like a musical instrument. So many different things. The vacuum cleaner hums. The tea kettle boils. Frying eggs sizzle. Music resounds. Well, the neighbors stomp. So many sounds. At home in the city, we hear the loud life around us. Oh, yes. Sounds overlay, multiply, and mix together, creating noise. Noise pollution. What is that? Well, it's excessive noise and is harmful to our health. But so many things happen, especially when you're living in the city. So many sounds. So many loud sounds. Jackhammering, big vehicles driving by. So much. At home in the city, we hear the loud life around us. Sounds overlay, multiply, and mix together, creating noise. Yes, we hear honks. Beep, beep. What else do you hear? What sounds do you hear in your neighborhood? The voice of nature hasn't changed. What we hear is very much what our great-grandparents heard, but it may seem softer because the mechanical sounds are louder and some animals have become endangered or extinct. The sounds of nature calm us down. When we are under stress, they improve how we feel, even when we listen to them from a recording. So true. We hear it, well, there's echoes. We hear it when sound reflects off a barrier and returns back to us. So many different sounds. The sounds of nature calm us down. When we are under stress, they improve how we feel, even when we listen to them from a recording. Yeah. So many voices on land, in the air, in the water. Here, everyone listens closely to even the slightest rustle. Yes. Survival depends on it. Some birds, like parrots, can expertly repeat the sounds they hear. Yeah. Animals make sounds and listen to them in order to orient themselves for contact, safety, or hunting. Yeah. Who is the loudest? Well, the title of the loudest animal on the planet is contested by the sperm whale that can grow up to 100 feet or 30 meters long, and the tiny snapping tiger pistol shrimp that is only 1 to 2 inches or 25 to 50 millimeters long, and who, fortunately for us, makes its gunshot like sound only underwater. Phew, thank goodness. Yes, animals make sounds and listen to them in order to orient themselves for contact, safety, or hunting. So many voices on land, in the air, in the water. Here, everyone listens closely to even the slightest rustle. Yeah. What else? Sometimes it is so quiet that you need to strain to listen, or so loud that your ears are ringing. It's true. Decibels. The loudness of sound is measured in decibels. Yeah. Look at all the different things and the amount of decibels they generate. Yeah. Breathing, about 10 decibels. Whispering, about 20 decibels. Normal conversation, about 40 decibels. Music from speakers, about 60 decibels. And so on. Yeah. All that. There are also lots of sounds that we do not hear, but other ears can hear them. Yeah. Hertz. The frequency of sound waves is measured in hertz. Humans only hear sounds whose frequency is between 16 and 20,000 hertz. Sound waves below 16 hertz are called infrasound, and sounds above 20,000 hertz are called ultrasound. There are also lots of sounds that we do not hear, but other ears can hear them. Some of those sounds made by whales, rhinoceroses, and elephants fall into the infrasound spectrum. The greater wax moth has the finest hearing among all the animals. How about echolocation? What is that? Well, bats cry in the ultrasound spectrum to orient in space. Yes, find their way using echolocation. Whales and dolphins can communicate in ultrasound. Some animals hear sounds in much wider spectrum than humans. Yeah. Sometimes sounds are so beautiful that we want to listen to them over and over again. For this reason, sound needs to be recorded and preserved. Yeah, so many different instruments of recording on there. There's a cassette tape, there's a record, so many. What do you use? There's so many streaming now too. You just go to your computer, your phone, everything, and you can find more sounds there too. Audio recording is sound recorded on sound media. The Latin word audio means I hear. Records, now made of vinyl, remain popular to this day and especially prized by music lovers for their high quality of sound production. Yeah. Are you a collector of vinyl? Of records? Yeah. So many. Phonograph, 1877, is the first device for mechanical recording of sound invented by Thomas Edison. This one right here. And I'd love to read more on this page, but we'll move on. So much. People of sound. Thanks to them, we hear music. Sorry, thanks to them, we hear much more and much better. I want to hear music. Oh, yes, they're musicologists. These are the scholars who study music and often are well versed not only in the history of music, but art and literature as well. How about composers? Well, composers create works of music and record them with the help of musical notes that then are read and performed by musicians. Broadcasting live from the studios of different places. Radio show hosts are responsible for the sounds we hear on the radio. They must have excellent diction and rich vocabulary. There's so many. The sound mixers, what do? Well, they are in charge of balancing audio sources. Everything we hear on television, at the movies, or at concerts, we hear through the ears of sound mixers. And the sound technicians. These ones record sound. They know about acoustics, operate the recording equipment, and provide for the best conditions for recording sound. So much to read in this book, so much to learn. But we'll move on. Oh my goodness. In order to understand one another, we speak. We speak in a language. While some may seem similar, each language sounds different from others. There are more than 7,000 languages in this world. Yeah, more than 7,000 languages in this world. And there are all the different sounds. I'm going to try some of those sounds. Yes. In order to understand one another, we speak. We speak in a language. While some may seem similar, each language sounds different from others. And I must say too, in order to understand one another, we speak, but also we communicate through sign language and other forms. But languages are not just about sounds. You can also understand another person in silence. Yeah. People who are hard of hearing or deaf use sign language. There are more than 150 sign languages in the world. Fingerspelling is the manual alphabet of sign languages. Sign language interpreters translate from a spoken language into a sign language and vice versa. Yes, languages are not just about sounds. You can also understand another person in silence. Sometimes it is hard for us to understand one another, and then we feel lonely. But one can find common language and understand the other person even without words. Yes, I understand. Yes. Sometimes it is hard for us to understand one another, and then we feel lonely. But one can find common language and understand the other person even without words. Yeah. Oh. So many sounds. Yeah. All kinds of different sounds. Wheezing, crunching. And sometimes we need to spend time in silence. Do you ever feel like that? You ever feel like you need to spend some time in silence? It's not a bad thing at all. Yeah. I get like that sometimes. Just want some quiet time to myself. Read a book, get lost in it. Yes. Completely turning off noise. Yes. Sometimes we need to spend time in silence, completely turning off sound. Yeah. Totally understand that. Yes. Yeah. The sound of silence. In order to hear the softest sounds, yes, sometimes we need some quiet. Turn off the sound. So, or in order to hear the softest sounds. Yeah. Yes, indeed. Silence may let you find something you've been seeking for a long time and hear something really important, like the sound of two hearts beating. Oh. Silence may let you find something you've been seeking for a long time and hear something really important, like the sound of two hearts beating. We hear our first sounds really early. Did you know that? We hear our first sounds really early. Oh. We begin to search for our own unique sounds. Nah, baby. We begin to search for our own unique sound. Yes, we do. And then we learn to listen, to hear, and to perceive the world. We have so many ways to perceive the world, to hear it. And one of them is through sound. We learn to listen, to hear, and to perceive the world. Yeah. Oh. And that is the end of our book today. And at the back here, we do have some suggestions. It says, worth listening to. Something to think about. Maybe you might do that today. It says, well, listen to a symphony orchestra, jazz, opera, choral singing, marketplace noise, the sound of different languages in a train station or at an airport, the sound and voices of the forest, the sound of the ocean in a seashell, music on a vinyl record, sounds from various points around the world at an interactive sound map. And you can find it right there. And I'll try and put this up too so you can check them out. The sound of the Big Bang at the webpage of the physicist John Kramer. You can find that there as well. Hope to hear from you soon. Silence rules in outer space. The oldest sound in the universe is the sound of the Big Bang. Its age is approximately 13.7 billion years old. And today we can hear a reproduction of how it sounded thanks to the mathematical calculations by the physicist John Kramer. And so many more. These are footnotes to some of the comments that were made in the book. And I hope that we can, after reading, can come back and then compare with that, or at least get more information in that footnote. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime today. Absolutely appreciate you. This has been sound. This has been Storytime for today. Thank you so much for joining in. I love this book. I hope we learned something. And as you can see, there's so much more to explore, so much more to learn. And I hope that you can find this book at your local library and indeed find it where you find books and get to enjoy it some more. And of course, you can always come back here to Storytime and get to enjoy it further. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime. Catch me on the other side of this short break. Thank you so much for being here with us today.
Hello, Storytime friends. My name is Angela Dalton, and I'm an author of picture books. Some you may have even seen read right here on Storytime with Mr. LaMotta. I'm excited to tell you about my brand new picture book called To Boldly Go, How Nichelle Nichols and Star Trek Help Advance Civil Rights. It comes out January 17th, and it's an amazing story about the legendary Nichelle Nichols and her role on Star Trek, which she left until a very special person reminded her about the impact that she was making, not just on television, but around the world. And I'm excited to tell you that myself and Lauren Semmer, the illustrator, will be coming here on January 20th to read the book to you and to answer any questions that you might have and to tell you a little bit about the book and how we came up with the idea for it. I hope that you'll join us again on January 20th right here in Storytime with Mr. LaMotta. Until then, if you'd like to learn a little bit more about me, please visit me at angeladalton.com. Okay, now we got to get back to the story today on Storytime with Mr. LaMotta. I hope you're enjoying it. I know I am. Okay, see you soon. Bye.
Welcome back indeed. Thank you so much for joining in. And please remember to follow Angela Darton at angeladarton.com, or of course Angela Darton author on Instagram, and get to find out more of what's happening in her world. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime today. This has been Storytime coming to you live from Oakland. Thank you so much for joining in Oakland, California, and thank you for being here with us. Thank you indeed for sharing in these amazing journeys, amazing books, wonderful readings that we do together. Thank you so much. You make the community what it is. You make this space the welcoming space that it is. Thank you so much for being here with us and for always letting us know that you are here. And indeed, I hope you get to enjoy Storytime, whether you enjoy it live with us or indeed catch up later on the episodes. I'm glad that you're able to read and able to have time to enjoy Storytime. Thank you so much for being here with us. Exciting things coming our way. Looking forward to them. Thank you to everybody that was joining in today. And of course, everybody that will join us later. Thank you to you, Amanda West. And of course, good morning to you, Sarah and Nathan. Thank you so much for joining us out there in cloudy Illinois. Thank you for being here with us. And I hope that you have a wonderful weekend. Thank you for joining in, Sharon Lungo and Soraya. Hopefully you're a little more awake now. Thank you so much for joining us on Storytime today. Absolutely appreciate you, and I hope that you do have a wonderful weekend as well. Thank you indeed. This has been Storytime. We're off for the weekend, but remember too that you can find us at your convenience at storytimewithmrlamada.com, and indeed the other Storytime platforms on YouTube and Facebook. Do join us there. Thank you. Great lineup again coming up next week. Everything is ready. I'm excited. And we do have guests that will be coming to Storytime as well. So lots to look forward to as many books are here and we await. I cannot wait to share them with you. I wish I could read many more in one day, but we have one that we've read and I'm thankful for that. And hopefully too, you get to read many more books today. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime. And our special mention for today is this one. What sound is morning? Yes, what sound is morning in your neighborhood? Thank you so much for joining in. Soraya said laughing is music from our bodies. Oh, love it, love it, love it, Soraya. Thank you. So true. And you say like mine. Well, thank you indeed. And I would love to hear your laughter as well again. Thank you so much for joining in and hopefully see you all soon. Thank you for being here on Storytime. Absolutely appreciate you. Soraya, thank you for making my heart glad. Thank you indeed for being here with us on Storytime. This has been Storytime for today. This has been Storytime for this week. And of course, we hope to catch you again next week for more stories, more exciting stories coming our way. Thank you. Much love. Hugs to each and every one of you. And I hope to see you again next week for more story time. Bye-bye.
time with Mr. Lamada. He will be starting soon. Oh, story time with Mr. Lamada, where all your dreams come true. Oh, it brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't leave lonely, won't you start all reading? I just can't wait to be hearing story time with Mr. Lamada. He will be starting soon. Oh, story time with Mr. Lamada, where all your dreams come true. Oh, he brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't leave lonely, won't you start all reading? I just can't wait to be hearing story time. Story time with Mr. Lamada. He will be starting soon. Story time with Mr. Lamada, where all your dreams come true. Oh, he brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't live lonely, won't you start all reading? We just can't wait to be hearing. Brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't live lonely, won't you start all reading? We just can't wait to be hearing